what happens to a lot of people that are in churches and they've been in a church that maybe has been around for a while and has some tradition to it, and you got programmed, you're Gen X, you're a millennial, you're Gen Z, and you've been programmed through culture to think your highest good is to critique tradition. Well, what are you going to do? Oftentimes people go, well, I'm going to rage against the machine. I'm not saying this is always the case, but I've seen even in church planting this happen where people go, I think the highest good for me is critique. The highest good for me, they wouldn't put in these terms, is to reject the old way, to reject tradition, to reject the system. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to gather a community of people who, like me, want to rage against the machine. And it often feels like really good for like the first year of that church plant's existence, because oftentimes people are still huddled around this like, yeah, my old church did this. And then they get to the point where they've run out of the old things to point at. And I've seen this over and over. That energy of the highest good is to critique gets turned inward on each other in the community. And over, I have seen how communities that have organized around deconstruction, that energy eventually turns inward, and the deconstructive energy destroys the very community that was centered around that. It has nowhere else to go.